Okay, welcome aboard, everybody. My name is Doobyis. This is After the Smoke is Clear, a special offshoot of it where I interview with artists and learn a little bit more about the scenes that they're from. This segment is called Fly in Formation. And today I'm going to be talking with a group from Calgary who do a podcast called the Sweety Treaty Show. And they have just put out an EP pretty recently, self-titled. I think it came maybe 2, 3 weeks ago. And we're gonna get right into it here. I'm gonna let these guys introduce themselves. So whoever wants to go first, I guess, maybe start at the left and MC Good Medicine, maybe.
All right, yo, what's good? Michael Daniel Broadfoot's my given name. Apis Gunaki's my sacred name, meaning far shooter, given to me from Elder Mexicum from Sixica. And my hip hop name's MC Good Medicine because I believe words can be good medicine. Here we are. I use she, her pronouns, and it's really nice to be on the show today.
Good to have you. Good to have you. How about up next, Wacey?
What's good? What's good? I'm Wayward the Trickster, co-host and DJ for the Sweety Treaty Show, and Sixica's best deadbeat rapper. So yeah, represent.
Beautiful. Over to Elijah.
Yeah, I guess I'm going by Levi nowadays as an artist. So that's about it. I do the editing for the podcast, the cover, the uploading.
Okay. All right. Cool. So I actually got a chance to come through to do the show in Calgary there in the summer, and had a great time being able to chop it up and freestyle with everybody. That was a trip. I love how much you guys really emphasize the freestyle dynamic and really put MCs on the spot. Like I remember driving down there, you were telling me we're gonna freestyle for 90 minutes, and I was like, 90 minutes? We're gonna freestyle for an hour and a half? All right, let's go in. But I'm glad that we got to meet up and build those connects, because that's what this whole show is about, is just trying to kind of meet with different artists and get different artists familiar with each other, where we can build a community that is uplifting each other together. And I think what you guys do with your podcast has been huge in doing that. Like I've listened to a lot of episodes and discovered a lot of different artists through your show. So I wondered, like, could you just talk a little bit about how the show kind of started up, how you decided to start doing it, maybe, or some of the reasons behind it?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a question, of when everything came together, because like it definitely is a collaborative, or was a collaborative effort from all of us, and that kind of started with some consultations. Wacey and I taking a trip down south to the blood reserve, and coming back, that long drive there, 3 hours or so, was kind of some of the first starts of it, or depending on how far back you want to go.
Hey, so Treaty 7 was right there at the beginning. Hey, you guys thought
for
of it.
Real.
Yeah, word.
Yeah, and I don't know if Wacey wants to talk a little bit about his. He had an idea for a show way back in the day, which I feel like the spirit of it, a lot of it, came through, and what the Sweety Treaty show ended up becoming.
Where yes, I guess Sweety Treaty really does go way back. Now that you think about it, like I don't know, 2017 back.
Way back.
You like think about like the first seeds. And it's definitely changed a lot since then. We didn't have a 90-minute freestyle segment when we first started. We had maybe a 1 or 2 minute, and then after some more consultations, as Michael eloquently put it, we all discovered that our favorite part was the freestyle bit, and that's when it became 90 minutes.
Yeah, that's dope. So how many episodes have been done at this point then? If you've done
just hang on a sec here, because there's this crazy guy named Terry who was running the Mount Royal University broadcast. He's the broadcast engineer. And I don't know if Elijah, you want to just speak to like, I know you were totally caught off guard. You thought we were like some student project or something coming in when Terry linked us up, which was totally different, way different than what you thought, as I remember it.
I mean, like, so my teachers, professors kind of sent this email out saying, they had some people from the NISCM Center that wanted to put on a podcast. I forgot exactly what they said, but I thought it was just like some faculty kind of plan, whatever, and I just had to move the faders and record them kind of thing. But it turned out to be these guys.
Surprise!
It wasn't what I expected. It's really like what it is now is really not what I thought I was signing up for. So yeah, it was an interesting experience.
Yeah, weird. So as it's all kind of come together, I guess obviously the three of you must have a lot of connections in the music scene in Calgary, because you obviously are bringing in guests for every episode to talk with. So can I ask you to talk a little bit about just kind of how you kind of entered into the hip hop, or what got you into hip hop? I mean, to be making hip hop out of Calgary is kind of still feels a little bit weird, even though it's 2022. You know what I mean? It's like a city that's known for its rodeo or whatever, but like there is a hip hop scene there, and it's emerging. So I just
Bunch of
kind of wanted to
honkies.
ask. Yeah, well, yeah, it's not where you typically think of hip hop coming from, for sure.
Yeah, YYC awesome like that though. I feel like as much as we know, I've gotten to know a lot of people. Being like one of the very few outlets, especially when we first started, of like artist showcasing. Uh, we got to like meet a lot of people. But it's also definitely like we've definitely narrowed our vision of like we really liked collaborating with some artists more than others. And so we definitely have them on the show a lot more than our homies from Lethbridge. Uh,
But also big ups to the homies from Lethbridge.
big ups to the homies from Lethbridge and come
Hey,
through again.
happy to do it, man. Yeah.
But yeah. I love kind of like the scene here and how welcoming it is. There's like so many ciphers going around for like youth and then just also just people putting on ciphers. You just gotta keep your ear open.
Can you guys like put us on to some of those? Like, is there anywhere? Is any of that stuff online, or is this like on the street ciphers? We're talking about people meet up and it's happening all the time, just live in person, or is there anywhere people can find music from some of those ciphers or anything like that?
I
Is
think
any of it streamed?
Michael knows the ones that we're allowed to talk about best.
Some of them are super secret, eh?
Yeah, you
Okay,
gotta
yeah.
know. You gotta be in the know.
That makes sense. Okay.
Well, we got. I want to shout out Monday Night Raps downtown with Tribe 1491 and Tribe Artist Society. So Tribe runs that cipher that happens on Monday nights down at an undisclosed location downtown, and and on Thursdays we run. What'd you say?
It's called the Arts Commons.
Yeah, yeah. And then on Thursdays, Tribe also runs another cipher, which is also kind of like ends up being like a workshop sometimes too. And that's Rap University. And with COVID, a lot of these ciphers have like gone back and forth between being online and in person. And so currently the Monday night ciphers happen in person, and the Thursday night ciphers are for Rap University. Those are online. The other cipher that, of course, we got to shout out, which was really a big part of Sweety Treaty, being influenced to be a freestyle-centered content, would be Cypher Club that Z the Free runs. It's been like, I feel like 3 or 4 years now that Cypher Club has existed, and
Awesome.
Longer than that, I think, because I think Sweety Treaty's existed 3 or 4 years. I think
Right,
The
we're coming up
pandemic
on
makes
4
everything
years.
seem
Yeah.
like it's been like 3 months since
yeah.
2020, right? Yeah, time flew by.
Yeah, so those would be some of the ciphers that we'll want to talk about, and then also I feel like there's some vision for. We'll see how it goes, but there is a vision to have like a weekly summer cipher outside.
Yeah,
The scene needs it. There's a lot of thirst for people who can freestyle, but not just like bars, like also people who want to show up and do these breaking ciphers, which eventually I would like to be able to do, hop in that, but I'm
that's
not at that
awesome. All
point right
elements
now.
going. Yeah, like in Edmonton, they always have Cypher Wild, where that's pretty much the scene is, there's the MC Cypher section and b-boys dancing and DJs and graffiti going on live. So it's really bringing all elements together or whatever. And it's cool
That's
to
what we got to
hear.
do.
It's dope to hear about those things popping up all over the place, right? uh, like the Calgary scene has always been a bit of an enigma to me. Like I lived in Edmonton for a lot of years before I moved to Lethbridge, and from Edmonton, there's always that rivalry or whatever. And I I never really I guess I allowed it to block my view of Calgary maybe because I never really knew many different MCs in Calgary or hadn't really dipped into the scene that much. But
Hmm.
since moving down to Lethbridge and like Z the Free, that was the name I recognized there. A lot of different Calgary artists have been popping up, and like I said, I found a few of them through the Sweety Treaty show. Even like MC Maponis there that was
Crazy good.
yeah, right. That joined us when I came down. That was wild. Meeting him. What's the name of his group again? His homie's name's Theory or something,
Apex
right?
Crew.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, so shouts to him too. But
Yeah, well, we're shouting out to Apex
yeah,
Crew
there
and
you
we're
go.
throwing up our A's there. We also want to shout out to Rubik's, who's been huge on the scene here,
Yeah,
working in CYOC, running programs there, Calgary Young Offender Center.
definitely shouts to
Uh,
Rubik. He's been another one sending me music and stuff. Supporter of the show. So I'm looking to
Sick.
talk to him soon too, for sure. But yeah, I appreciate you all for coming on here. Can we talk about your project, like, and how? Well, actually, first off, when did that drop? I know it's still fairly new, but it's uh, been a month or two now. When did you put that up?
I
January
fe-
28th, I
January
think.
28th. Cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, so yeah, a couple of weeks then, I guess only. I
yeah, I
guess.
think we're at like 110,000 on 110,000 streams on Love Medicine, I think it is.
Damn, for real?
No.
Okay. I was like, good
That'd be
job.
sweet though, just affirming that to the universe.
Yeah, word. Soon. I actually listened to the EP again today, and because you guys had sent me like singles from it, I already had FNF like prior. So I remember like when I saw the entire EP pop up online, I listened through to it, but I kind of skipped over FNF because I already knew it and had played it on ATSIC or whatever, right? So I just listened to the rest of them. But then today I was just letting it play through as I played some video games earlier, and actually heard the version of FNF and was like, well, this is a different version than they sent me. This changed up. So I wanted to ask about kind of like the process of how you guys put the album together, and uh, just the process of kind of chipping away at songs. And I know for myself, like a lot of the time, a song will have several versions like that or whatever. And I just kind of wanted to have you guys talk about like how that process came together.
Yeah. Well, I feel like I wasn't on it. I'm not on FNF. So I think that'd be a great place to start. Both Elijah Wacey and shout out Polo Show, who's also hustling in the community here, who's running Solace Studios with his partners from Lifted One Records. So shout out Lifted One
when
Records
I
and Solace
saw
Studios.
when I saw featuring Polo Show, I was like, I think that's got to be Polo that I met when I came down, right? That's Buddy from the studio there. Okay, cool. Yeah. But so how long did it take putting? It's a 5-track EP, right? There's the intro and then 4 tracks after it. Was it kind of like a weekend thing, or did you spend a while doing it?
I think we spent a good long time working on that one.
Okay.
Yeah, I
had, like,
mean, technically it started like a year ago ish.
See, I just asked if it was a weekend thing because I know, like, for freestyle cats, like, there are guys that'll just be like, yeah, give me beats, I'll jump in there and knock out, bang, 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 that track's done, that track's done, that track's done, right? So yeah, I'm always interested, like, how does being an MC who's like prominently freestyling weigh into kind of your writing process? Do you end up freestyling songs and then editing lyrics? I've done that sometimes myself, writing tracks, or just freestyle till you get one that you like, or are you
feel like that's a
writing, or
dope.
what's the process?
I feel like that's a dope question for Elijah.
I mean, for me, I just kind of like freestyle and kind of pick the best take and just write it down. Or I kind of like got my pen and paper or whatever. If I'm writing it down, just listen to the beat running through my head and just write what comes. And I
Yeah.
just edit it to make it work. That's kind of the only way I know how to make a song or make a verse or whatever. It just seems natural to me. So, like if I didn't know how to freestyle, I don't know how I would make a song really.
Yeah,
Word.
like a freestyle purist.
Well, because you hear about guys like that or whatever, right? Like that's the legend about like Biggie is like that Biggie never would have blown up if Puffy didn't show him how to like structure a song or whatever, because he was just a guy that
Word.
wanted to freestyle bars and bars and bars. Like, or I mean, who knows whether that's real or not, but there are definitely MCs like that. I've worked with guys like that who can come in and just stand there and rap for 4 minutes, and it's like, okay, but like maybe we should throw a chorus in there somewhere or whatever, right? So, yeah, I think that there is there's always been a strange crossover for like freestyle MCs. They get this rep that they don't make songs or whatever. That they can't make songs.
Word.
Like, there's that stigma against it or whatever. And I don't think that should be true or like is true really.
Well, I mean, something that comes to mind is a friend of mine and we were adopted together in a ceremony together, like when I first started university. So, going back like 7 or 8 years ago. But my buddy Tim, I can't remember, he had an MC name back in the day, but he's chilled out a lot. But I remember him telling me that he was big in the Vancouver scene at the time. And he was telling me that your freestyle game complements your written game and your written game complements your freestyle game.
Hey.
So by working on one, you're making the other one better.
Definitely.
And, that's been a principle for me, I think, for a long time. I was really lucky that I got that teaching early on, because I do feel like I really fuck with freestyling, but I also am doing a lot more writing now.
Word. So I guess the other element that's on here that we need to talk about is the beats. Where like who made the beats? Where did these come from?
BeatStars, baby.
Hey, nice. Yeah, I mean, I've done that grind myself. I think that's pretty common.
Yo, I actually want to bump this over to Elijah, because actually most of the beats that we used ended up being, beats that Elijah picked. And also, like, I think we can talk a little bit about Dojo beat picking process, because like Elijah's our man. Like, we don't have dope beats because we just randomly pick shit. Like, somebody has to go through same way a DJ
Hell yeah.
would go through and pick tracks, to have in their repertoire, in their crates. So I don't know if you want to speak a little bit to that, Elijah.
Yeah, man. So I follow like quite a few beat makers, producers, on YouTube.
Can I
So
ask, like, are they dudes you know personally, or like even are they other Canadian independent artists, or are they kind of just everybody from all over the map? Like,
yeah, like I don't really check for where they're from. I just really listen to the music.
okay, yeah, word.
But yeah, I feel like there are a lot of them are from the States. But yeah, I just kind of like go through them, and there's certain YouTubers or like, producers that I know have a certain ear for making beats or a certain kind of style that I like. So I kind of pull from their channels because I trust they're gonna make some good shit, right? So
Word.
even on my own time, I just like look through a lot of beats sometimes. I might like freestyle to it or just have it playing sometime and just
Oh
um,
man, I find a lot of the time like it's nice to just play instrumentals in the background or whatever, like if you're just driving or whatever, because you can't. To me, like I'm so deep into listening to lyrics. I love lyrics so much that if there's lyrics playing in the background, it's tough for me to have a conversation that's like a meaningful conversation because I end up hearing some dope line that he said and it draws my attention that way, right? Uh, so like I totally hear you. Like I think I mean, some of the most popular playlists on YouTube are like the lo-fi study beat compilations or whatever, right? And so like, yeah, beats in the background, that's choice. But for something I've been trying to kind of concentrate more on is looking into different independent artists and seeing who they're getting beats from, and then going and like making sure I'm following those dudes on Instagram too, right? Like
Mm.
to because a lot of the time you see other artists from like Toronto, they've put out an album, and so I go over and check out on Bandcamp and see, okay, well, who made this beat? This shit's dope. Like, let me see if I can weasel in there and email this guy and see if he wants to sell me some beats too or whatever. So that's why I ask about like who made beats, even if it wasn't any of you guys sitting here in the crew, because I think even just by like dropping each other's names and stuff like that, we can kind of help other artists see like, oh yeah, like I might as well buy beats from that guy too. So like I don't know,
Yeah,
like
is there any YouTubers or like beat makers that you would shout out, Elijah?
it's like a mess in my head. Like there's just a bunch.
or
I know Epic the Dawn is one of the more recent in terms of like my whole journey through finding beats. They make pretty some good stuff, and they're more of a collective. So they like pick beats from other producers and kind of upload it.
yeah.
Rawbone, I think, is a guy out of Florida. I like his stuff a lot. He's been kind of like inactive a bit, but it's kind of like a thing with these producers. Like, I guess it's like a creativity break that happens. Onoki, he makes a lot of good trap beats, a lot of good like 808 Mafia type of that energy that they have, with the heavy hitting 808s.
Elijah, do you remember who did the beat for Bounce? Because I was listening to Bounce and I was like, this is some like real like
I think
EDM influency stuff. Like it's so danceable, that track.
I think that producer called BMTJ. It's those
EMTJ.
brothers.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah. I mean, props to that guy. That was a nice beat. I guess though, that leads me to thinking like there is kind of a heavy EDM influence in your guys' music, and I think just wider scene generally. Hey, like in Calgary, are there a lot of shows where you'll have kind of DJs doing sets and then uh rappers doing sets too, like where it's mixed between those two scenes? Is that a thing?
The only
say
people I hear from is Rubik's and Raponis.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
I
I
know
mean,
it sounds kind of niche.
yeah.
Um, they like kill it when they do it.
Yeah, man, those guys are dope as fuck. But I get some of those vibes from some of those tracks. I mean, like that bounce track has some of those vibes for sure
Yeah, I
from
mean the like wow, wow, wow. Yeah, I do feel like I'm in a club just like, you know, so like one of the things I guess maybe we could mention is that with the EP, each of us kind of took the lead on certain tracks, and Bounce was the track that I took the lead on, which was totally not what I was planning on either, because Elijah had picked that beat, and I like asked Elijah like, is it okay if I like use that beat for like my song sort of thing? And so he was cool with that. And
Nice. So did it work out where the different tracks you each kind of took lead role on? Like you each had a lead track, kind of? Okay, cool.
And then FNF was our secret love child was Polo.
Well, not so secret. I rang that one off on ATSIC when you guys sent me the leak. So thanks for that. But yeah, I mean, I guess yeah, I don't want to keep you all too long, and I got to hit the road myself here pretty quick. But I do want to ask, like, what's next? Is the podcast still going steady? You're still doing episodes of that? Is there more music coming up? Where can people find you? Anybody?
I don't know. I'm like the person that was down to continue the podcast. But like we've been doing this podcast thing for a while nonstop. So like the rest of the crew kind of just want to take a break.
Yeah, word.
I'm not the one to answer that question.
Depends when everybody's ready.
Collaborative effort.
Yeah, I mean groups. It's stuff like that. It's just everybody's schedules are always busy and stuff. So you know, it's dope that when people can come together and make stuff like that work. And you know, thanks for putting on a podcast like that. You guys do a lot of good work, spreading the word for even social justice and stuff like that. It's good to see you helping build the community. And yeah, appreciate y'all coming by and everything. I guess to finish things right off here. Oh, here I got one question from chat. Toxin here asked, "What nation is this dude from?" So I don't know who he's referring to. Toxin, who you're referring to, man? Which who? I, Toxin is a Métis friend of mine.
Dope.
So I think he's asking, yeah, like which First Nations nation? Top left. So MC Good Medicine.
Yo, so my biological ancestors go back to Manitoba, Métis and Nahio Cree. So that's where I come from. I've been adopted out here in Treaty 7 and know more about Blackfoot culture than I do Métis or Cree culture, but I'm also learning more into those. But yeah, that's where I'm from.
Toxin, you got to check out their music. I think you'd like the new EP that they've put out. That's self-titled Sweety Treaty. You can find it on the streaming platforms. Is it on Bandcamp? Could you guys got a like sale link
Oh,
up
good
anywhere?
question. I don't think we're on Bandcamp, but we should be on Bandcamp.
Oh yeah, throw it up on Bandcamp. Let people give you $5 for it if they want to. Why not?
Yeah, for real.
But yeah, it's been dope to talk to y'all, and I hope that we can talk again. I'm trying to kind of just do these making of ATSIC streams on kind of Tuesday afternoons. So this one's a weird time slot that we're doing this interview, but most Tuesday afternoons, if you guys want to come chill and chat or whatever, listen to new hip hop as I put together the episodes of ATSIC that are coming up. The more hip hop heads in there talking hip hop, the better. So this is kind of what it's all about, just building community. I appreciate seeing y'all here to talk about it.
For real. And yo, I just want to shout out some folks here real quick. I was just at a show by Estadon, which was sick to see, and Stick.
That's ATSIC gang right there. He sent that Estadon sent some music and stuff.
Yeah, shit. So we had Stick on stage that same night, and Black Star was also up there. So big ups to those homies. We also got a show coming up in town here that we got a whole bunch of homies that are going to be at. And TK Othello, this show is happening on February 24th, 2022 at 7 p.m. We're going to have a whole bunch of other folks performing that are awesome at that show. I also want to shout out Yolanda Sargent and K-Riz for their song. Gee, what was that song called? I was just rocking to it. A Place Where Love Is. I've been just jamming to that.
Yeah.
And also K-Riz's sister, T Fanny, has been doing a lot of content. So I just want to shout out them as well. And also just say the scene here is growing, like we were talking before the show that, I always think of Edmonton as more developed, than where we are here. But also to be a part of that community building, I think is really important. And like you say, just having more heads connect, I think makes a lot of sense.
I'm really happy to have y'all on here for the second interview that I've done, because the first one with Deadly Nedley, he's an Edmonton dude who put out an album last year that had 20 MCs from across Canada on it that we're all
Sick.
just like bomb droppers. I saw the track list and my jaw dropped. So I'm wondering, like, are you guys working on more music? Is there a Sweety Treaty album coming with all the guests and everything? Like, you need a verse from me? Yeah, maybe.
Should that be dope? Get Doobyis on the track.
Yeah, let's work.
Yo, well, I do just want to say, the crew's cooking for sure. Like Elijah said, we're on a break. But I think a lot of demand from the community, for the show to not only be as it is, but to really grow. I think there's an opportunity for that. So we can't really speak to that a lot right now, but I do think we're always cooking, and we got to, over the years of being in this, it's hard to get equipment. Equipment's expensive, but we've got like all the equipment pretty much that we need right now, which makes a big difference.
The
And
first hurdle. Right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, I think it's a transition point for us, to say, okay, well, how do we want to move forward? And that's kind of where we're at. So I guess that the answer that I would give would be stay tuned.
Hell yeah. I will. And keep sending me stuff. Thanks again, everybody. Wacey, Elijah, Daniel, good to see you all. And yeah, I guess we'll sign off on that. Thanks a bunch.
Peace out. Thanks for having us, Doobyis.
Thanks for having us, yo.